Have you ever stood awkwardly by the coffee machine, trying to figure out if you should say something, anything, but your brain just blanks? Or maybe you said something and instantly regretted it, like asking your boss, "How was your weekend?" on a Wednesday. If you've ever felt like the socially awkward one at work, I've got good news. You're not broken. You're just filtering too much, threading too little, and missing one powerful little trick that can flip the whole conversation dynamic. Today, I'm going to show you 3 simple but powerful ways to stop overthinking and start thriving in conversations at work, even if you're introverted, new to the company, or just socially rusty. Let's dive in. All right, let's get started. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to start conversations without sounding weird, keep them going without panic pausing, and actually enjoy small talk. Yes, it's possible. These aren't cheesy networking hacks. These are real, science-backed, workplace-tested strategies that anyone can learn. Let's start with the biggest invisible block, filtering. At work, most of us have an inner voice constantly scanning everything we say. Does this sound smart? Will this make me look weird? Should I just say nothing? And that filter? It's exhausting. It's like trying to write an email with your manager reading over your shoulder, constantly hitting backspace. When you filter too much, you either say nothing at all, and that becomes an awkward silence, or say something safe and forgettable, and that becomes awkward blandness. But here's the truth. Most of your coworkers are filtering too. They're worried about how they sound too, which means nobody is really judging you. They're too busy judging themselves. The fix? Start small. Practice lowering your filter. Try this tomorrow. When you walk past someone in the hallway or kitchen, say the first normal, polite thing that pops into your head. Seriously, for example, "That coffee smells amazing. Is it just me, or is this meeting room always freezing? I need a weekend from my weekend." You're not trying to win an Oscar. You're just showing up as a human, and that's more than enough. And let me tell you a secret. People don't connect over perfection. They connect over realness. Which brings me to the second concept, the Pratfall Effect. The Pratfall Effect is a psychology concept that basically says people like you more when you're not perfect. That's right. When you admit you messed up a little or show a tiny bit of clumsiness, a verbal trip-up, a silly comment, people don't think less of you, they trust you more. So next time you flub your words in a meeting or accidentally send a Slack message to the wrong channel, don't panic. Own it. Laugh it off. You'll seem more approachable, more relatable, more human. Think about your favorite coworker. Odds are they're not perfect, but they're real. They're easy to talk to. You can be that person too. Here's a line you can steal. "Wow, that sentence did not come out how I meant it. Let me try again." Now, you sound confident, funny, and relatable. You might be thinking, okay, cool, I'll lower my filter and be human. But how do I keep a conversation going? Like, what do I say after, "How's your day going?" That's where the real magic happens. Let's talk about the concept of threading. Threading is how you expand a conversation naturally without sounding like a robot or interrogator. Here's how it works. Let's say a coworker says this, "Yeah, I was up late finishing that deck for tomorrow." You now have multiple threads you can pull. Was that the one for the client presentation? Do you usually work late like that? Ugh, I hate working late. What kept you going? Music, caffeine, tears? Each of those threads leads somewhere interesting. And here's the key. You don't have to be clever. You just have to be curious. Instead of thinking of the perfect next thing to say, just notice the details they gave you. If someone says they ran a 10K over the weekend, you can go in a dozen directions. "Wow, 10K? Are you training for something? I can barely run for a bus. How'd you get into that? Please tell me you ate a giant brunch after." You don't need a script. You just need to practice curiosity over cleverness. Let's walk through a real workplace example. You're in the elevator with a coworker. Silence. You. "Long day?" Them? "Yeah, meetings back to back." Most people would stop there. But you're a threader now. Brutal. What's the worst kind? Status updates, strategy, or mystery meetings with no agenda? They chuckle. Definitely mystery meetings. Boom, you're in. The conversation has started and you've started to build trust, and even better, you didn't have to talk about the weather. Sometimes, no matter what, your brain just freezes. You feel that awkward silence coming like a freight train and you're out of words. Here's your emergency move. Switch to shared reality. That means just call out what's happening in the moment. Man, I never know what to say in these small talk moments. This kitchen always turns into the awkward Olympics, huh? I always get weirdly quiet in elevators. Like, what are the rules? You're naming the awkwardness, which instantly diffuses it. And again, you'll be shocked how many people respond with, same. All right, so we talked about the 3 powerful ways to help you stop overthinking and start thriving in conversations at work. Let's do a quick recap. First, ditch the filter. Stop waiting to be impressive. Start being real. Second, use the Pratfall Effect. Imperfection makes you likable. Own your flubs. Third, thread like a pro. Every comment is a thread you can pull. Stay curious, not clever. Additionally, the emergency move. Name the moment. These are small shifts, but they change everything. Because the goal isn't to be the most charming person in the office. It's to be someone who is easy to talk to, comfortable to be around, and real. You don't need to master office charisma. You just need to practice being a little less filtered and a little more present. The next time you're in a meeting, in the kitchen, or walking to your car with someone, try just saying what's on your mind. Something small, something kind, something honest. That's where real connection starts. And honestly, you're probably way less awkward than you think. If this episode helped you feel more confident, hit that like button. It helps more people like you find it. And if you want more tips like this, real practical tips for career growth, communication, and becoming your best self at work, subscribe and stick around. You've got this. See you in the next episode.